yeah, it's really cold. It's going to snow. It feels like it's going to snow. It's a lot colder than Ireland. Ireland doesn't really get that cold generally. Freezing. It just might look at my jumpers, you know, like I have to wear this on stage because I forgot to bring another jumper, so so I have to keep my sleeves up like this. So yeah, I'm like super cold, and I am wearing like a vest. I just at home, I'm always cold, and I always have hot water bottles. Sit next to the radiator.
Actually, one of my questions was about traveling. I wanted to ask you, what about your travels? The feeling about traveling, staying.
I love traveling. I love. I really, really enjoy waking up in a different place and meeting different people and eating different food, and you know, I enjoy it. I'm lucky in that my best friend is my tour manager, so we travel together and we can share a room, and so it feels kind of like being at home. You know, the worst bits of travelling, like feeling lonely or something like that, is not an issue because I generally travel with my friends, you know, because you're my band or tour manager, so that makes it an awful lot easier. And all of the positive bits of travel, you know, are always there, and you get to share them together, which is nice.
I also read that you lived with your friends and with your colleagues as well. It seems to me to be very interesting, you know, to share, to have flatmates and colleagues at the same time.
Well, it's just my friend Una. We don't live with each other anymore, but we did for many years. But we were friends before we were colleagues, you know, and it's great.
There are many students also in Ostrava because there are several universities. They live together and they share everything.
Yeah, I love living with people. In that, I lived with Una and then our other friend Bueno, and we lived together for about 8 years through, you know, when we were in college, and after when I was off touring by myself, a different thing, and then me and Una touring together, and it's just been really natural. And I mean, I think if you're really good friends, you're sort of family, you know, and so you make your own family in your own house, you know, as a student or and beyond, and you know, it's you sort of want to take them everywhere.
I listened to several of your interviews with you, and I really like what you do, and I think that you are a great artist.
Thank you very much.
And what is the art for you? What does it mean for you to be an artist?
I don't know.
What are advantages and disadvantages of the life
of
such an artist?
As a singer-songwriter, one of my favourite things is the cycle of work, in that you spend a long time at home, settled, sort of writing and being very sort of solitary and kind of shut away a little bit, or that's been my experience, you know, hanging out in Dublin, having a sort of a comfortable family sort of feeling to your life. And then when you've made a record, you know, there's that recording period, which is exciting, and then once it's all done and made, then you go away for probably the same amount of time. And
you mean tour?
Yeah, and so then, you know, you get to play the songs live, which is the best thing ever. You have to be more extrovert. You're surrounded by people all the time, like just as a band you're always sound checking or gigging or hanging out, and I just love the balance of those two things, because I sort of naturally have those two different aspects to my personality, and it's nice that both of them can
to be alone, to be solitary, then to open your...
Yeah, like I really like travelling and being around people, but then I also don't sometimes. Just as you're sort of starting to get tired of travelling, you get to come home and be at home for ages. And same again when you're at home thinking, I have to get out, you know. You get to go. So I really enjoy the natural flow of it, you know.
Can you maybe describe me how it looks like your working day? How do you work?
If I'm on tour, I'd sort of get up and try and go for a run or something like that to see, you know, where I am, or to sort of investigate a bit more. And then, you know, there's a lot of food involved. But the morning, you know, would be like doing emails or interviews or, you know, something like that. Or if I have a morning off, like exploring where we are. And then you'd go into, you know, load the gear in after, you know, at lunchtime, and then sound check, you know, set it all up, sound check, and then the gig. So the gig sort of happens from kind of the afternoon on, you're kind of preparing for the gig. And then if I'm at home, I'm just sort of writing, so it's sort of the same thing, or I'd be try to go for a run and get air and eat, and then I'll try and get settled into writing and reading and things like that.
And how many hours a day do you write? Are you supposed to write when you're really into...
Well, you know, that's a really difficult question. In that, I was talking to Richie about it today, and he was sort of saying, I do like 9 to 5, you know, which is brilliant, and I wish I could do that. And he said, like, sometimes you only get a couple of hours of good thing. Well, like sometimes you write a song in 10 minutes as well. It's hard to quantify.
Yeah, 10 minutes, and then before you have to wait for your audio for 2 hours, maybe sometimes.
Oh yeah. So it's
it depends on how.
You know, Nick Cave goes and writes. He sits, he does the thing, goes 9 to 5, and has his lunch. And you know, I don't work like that, but I feel like I probably should. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sort of, I'm very scattered.
Do you like listen to interviews about professionals as you are about artists, and who are you influenced by?
I wouldn't normally read interviews, no.
And your own interviews?
Well, I definitely wouldn't read them. No, I wouldn't generally read. Like, I'd like to listen to people's records, but I wouldn't necessarily want to hear them talk. Influenced by, I don't. When I'm writing, I try not to listen to any music, which is, unless I'm running, which is really hard, actually. Weird.
Do you have, for example, your favorite song from Bob Dylan?
My favourite Bob Dylan song is Shelter from the Storm. Yeah, it's such a good song. When I'm touring, I can listen to more music, and generally you sort of pass things around between people in the band and stuff. When I go back to my own thingies, I always like to listen to Nina Simone is my favourite, and she's got, you know, such a massive canon at the perfect song for the perfect time, you know, so she's my ultimate favourite. But yeah, I listen to loads of stuff. I listen to like classical and jazz singers, more modern things as well. I like Nirvana, I like those things. I love Richie. I don't know if you know his music. He's the most incredible writer, one of the best writers to ever come out of Ireland.
Okay, thank you.